Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be looking at how to erase and rewrite to Memcals on Ecotec. So first of all you'll need a T15 Torx bit, and then you'll grab the Memcal out of the ECU just like this. So it's on this under this little window here. Alright, one's out. Of course, it's always the second one that wants to be a bit stubborn. Okay, and then we have your Memcal in there. Now, don't worry about putting this back in, because when you put it back in, as you'll see, there's little lips on the side there. It'll only go in one way, so you can't stuff that up. All right, so this is the Memcal. This is in, these are in, well, in Buick as well. So here's a Buick one. We aren't covering Buick today though, we're only covering Ecotec today. But here is an Ecotec Memcal. This is out of a VT, I think. I think it's out of a VT. But it can be out of, they come in VS, VT, NA, and they come in VS to VY L67. So to write to these, you will need a few things. You'll need an EPROM eraser. So I'll have links to all this in the description. And you'll need a programmer. So what I have here is the GQ4X4 programmer. I've used this for years, not had a problem with it, so that's good. And I will show you, there's this as well. There is these little chips here. So these are actually flash chips. So if you're going to work with flash chips, you don't actually need to use the EPROM eraser because they are electronically erasable. We aren't covering that today, unfortunately, because this chip here is not mine and it has a CalMaker tune on it, so I do not want to mess with that. Okay, so let's get into it. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to download Tuner Pro, if you haven't already. So go into Downloads, Tuner Pro applications, like that, and then you'll just download the download latest Tuner Pro. You don't need the real-time one for this one. Now next, if you followed along in our last video, our flash tuning video, you would know we were talking about the enhanced tune and whether you would need it or not. Now, on flash ECUs, I don't usually put it on unless I need to, because you are writing over the whole operating system. But on VT, because you are pretty much going to be writing over the whole Memcal anyway, I always just put the enhanced on. So we'll download the enhanced right from there. And now we've got the enhanced just chilling there. So we'll extract that and get that ready. Okay, now on to how to do the reading, and well, we're going to read it first, okay? I'll explain why. So you'll need to get one of these little adapters. You can get them from PCM Hacking. I'll also have a link for them. You will need the adapter, otherwise you cannot do it. And this is a Buick one. It's different again. So Buick and Ecotec have different adapters. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to grab the chip. First of all, what you want to do before you put anything in there, I always just keep this in there, that's fine. But yeah, you don't want to have your chip in there yet because you want to open up your programming tool, which for some reason doesn't want to work. Oh, I know why it's not working actually, that's fine. It's just trying to get my old device list because I'm on a different account. So that's all good, so it'll go through some checks eventually. Might just unplug it, plug it back in just to make sure it does it. Okay, so it should initialize it. And there we go. And it's going to give us these errors because I'm on a different user account, that's all that is. It's also telling us we need new software, but we're not going to worry about that for now. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to go into device list, you're going to go into EPROM, and really? One second, we might have to actually do this as admin. That's a bit funny. Okay, so I need to run it as admin apparently to get the device list, righto. Anyway, as you see, my device list is already populated and I've already got my favorite devices. So what we're going to do, if you're looking for it, is you're going to go into EPROM, or EPROM, sorry, and you're going to come down here and just choose 27C010. That is this EEPROM here, okay? So we're going to just click on that because I've got it as my favorite, and we're going to select it. Now, the reason I've got this in here and I keep it in here is because it can be a bit of a pain to line up. So I like to keep it in there so I know it's working. Now, if you look on the chip, you'll see at the top, you'll see that little lip, or on some chips, you'll see this dot here. I don't know if you can see that. Yep, that dot right there. Sometimes in the corner, but the point is that's the orientation of the chip, right? So when we're putting this in, we're going to put it in with the little lip facing the top. So that little lip's going to face the screw at the top of the reader here. So we're just going to chuck that on there. You got to be really careful and just sort of get it in there nice and snug because you do not want to bend those pins. All right. So then we're just going to push it down with even pressure. Now we know it's in there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do a device check just to make sure that we have got it right. So we're going to hit ID here. See how it comes up with national FM such and such. That means that we know all our pins are reading correctly and it's all set correctly and it's fine. All right, so we can even do a read if we really want to, but I mean, I'm not going to bother doing a read. But we know that that's right if the ID works. Okay, so now what we're going to do, because we've now confirmed this is right, we're going to try and pull the Memcal out of the socket or out of the adapter, but keep the adapter in the machine because we know that it's sitting in there right. Okay, so you want to keep it flush, just want to basically hold 2 fingers on it while you pull it off. Now, what I will show you, by the way, because I probably should, is I'll take mine out for now. And then see pin 1 is up the top corner there. So remember, the orientation is important. So we want pin 1 facing that. And you want to put your adapter in with the bottom pins at the bottom pins of here. Okay, so you will have some space up top. And make sure you definitely get that right. Now, we should have done that before, but I wasn't planning on doing that, but I figured I should. Okay, so now because we've moved that, we're going to make sure that it's all seated again. So we're going to chuck this back on one more time. Remember to be careful because you do not want to bend those pins. And you want to just sort of get it on there nice and snug. Once it's on there, push down with even force. We're going to do an ID check again. And we've still got the same chip. Okay, so if it's recognizing it, it's all good. So remember, we're going to put 2 fingers down the side here, keep pressure on it, and just slowly leverage this off without bending any pins. Okay, now we've done that, we're going to show you how to erase it. So for erasing, you'll need an EPROM eraser. There will be a link in the description to this as well. Please keeping in mind you will have to pull it apart because that drawer, you will not fit it in there. So you have to pull it apart and just put it in the top like that, okay? Everyone does it, it's not a problem. Also another thing to note, they do come with the European plug, so you'll either need a converter like I have here, but they do run at 240 volt, so you can also just get a travel adapter. So we're going to plug that in. All right, we're going to get a timer up on our computer here. We're going to get the stopwatch up, clock, sorry. And we're going to get the stopwatch up, timer. As you can see, we've got a 10-minute timer there. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to peel this sticker off here. It can be a bit of a pain to get off. Now, usually, you'd want to clean the little window with alcohol or something that you have to help basically get all the residue off it, but I don't bother doing that. Most of the time it comes off fine, but the whole point is you just want to expose that little window. So when that window is exposed to UV, it actually erases the data. So it's also very important when you're done to cover this window up with electrical tape or something along those lines. All right, so we're going to stick it in like this. And of course, first time was a fail. You've got to have that window facing the UV bulb. Don't know why I keep messing that up. It's a bit fidgety, but you'll get it in there. Once it's in there, you can see it's there. Close this up, turn it on. Now, should be able to see that it's on. Yep, it is on. Don't look at it, by the way, but like I just did. And we're going to run the 10-minute timer. And we'll come back after this 10 minutes is over. All right, so that is our 10 minutes up. So let's take it out, turn it off, take it out. Now we need to check that it is blank. All right, so remember, we grab where the top notch is, put that back in here, and we have to put it down firmly without bending any pins. Okay. Push down. And now this next step is important, all right? So we're going to ID it again. Yep, you can see it's picking up fine. But now we need to do a blank check. Now the reason we do a blank check is the way EPROMs and EPROMs work is when they write over a byte, that byte has to be blank before they can write to it, usually FF. Okay, so we do a blank check because if one byte even on this is not FF, then the whole write will fail, pretty much. So we're going to do a blank check. As you can see right there, 7F. So let's just do a quick read on that to confirm what's going on. She might need a bit more in the oven, and that's sometimes the way it goes. So I'll give you an idea. This will give you an idea on what they look like when they're nearly blank. All right, so as you can see, there's a lot of FF. Yeah, she's far from blank. That's interesting. Okay, well, we'll go back in the oven for another 5 minutes. Unfortunately, this is part of working with EPROMs. EPROMs. I keep saying EPROMs, but they're actually EPROMs. Turn it back on, and we will start a 5-minute timer. As you can see, I've got timers set up for this, so it's happened before plenty of times. So we'll check back in 5 more minutes. All right, we are back again. Let's see if that extra 5 minutes helped at all. So turn it off, grab our little chip here, and remember the notch to the top. Push it down with equal force. We're going to ID again, and then we're going to blank check again. So you need the blank check to pass 100% because if even one byte isn't blank and you try and write to it, it won't write that byte. And that'll throw the checksum off and the car won't start. But keeping in mind, that's if it even gets that far. Like if it fails halfway through on one byte, then it won't write at all. So again, it has failed again. There's one stubborn byte somewhere. I've never had to put an EPROM in this long, I'll tell you that. I usually put them in for about 10 to 13 minutes. But apparently this one that I choose to do a tutorial with, wants to be stubborn. So there's just one byte in there somewhere, or maybe a few. You can't even see it. So there is one byte in there that is not blank, which is crazy, but it does happen. Okay, so again, we've back in the eraser, it goes. This is why I don't like to do Memcals, because it can be a pain doing it this way. As I said, doing it this way is a lot better. It is a flash chip and you can electronically erase it and write it. So you can just put it in here and you can erase and write in like 30 seconds. It's quicker as well. All right, let's start up a timer. Let's just go 3 minutes now. Don't usually cook them this long, but this one's being stubborn. We're back when we're done. All right, so while this is still erasing, what we might do is we might just set up our next part. So as you saw before, we downloaded the VT Enhance from PCM Hacking. So we're going to grab that, I'm going to replace all that, and you're going to end up with an ADX, an XTF, and a bin. Now we're just going to do an auto bin, for example. So what we're going to do is open Tuner Pro, and we're going to go to XDF, select XDF. Although I just put a shortcut to my documents there, it is what it is. And then we're going to open up this XDF. Then we're going to go File, Open Bin, and we're going to go back to here again, and we're going to open our auto bin. And then we're going to go to flags. So this is just a simple no VATs like we did in our flash video. If you haven't seen that, you would like to see that, that'll be in the description as well. And we just click Set, Save, and we'll just save bin as, and we'll just put NV at the end of it so that we know it's no VATs. Okay, so we now have this here, which is our bin we're going to write back. Now what I will also explain that's a good idea to have is have it set so that it verifies as well. Sorry, that's down here somewhere. So when you write the chip, make sure it verifies, and I'll show you that in a second. And also you can have your speed on +2. You can change your speed if it sort of fails, but I've always had it on +2, it's been fine. All right, I think that's going to be long enough in the old eraser here, so we're going to take it out, and we're going to do that all over again. If you'd like more of an introduction into Tuner Pro, check out our Flash ECU videos. I gave a little bit more information in that one. This is more of an advanced video, this one. All right, so we've got that one on. We're going to do the ID again, and then the blank check again. Yep, ID is good. Now we're just going to do the blank check again. All right, chip is blank, so that's good. So this is in the corner, right there in the little corner there, chip is blank. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go open, and there we are right there, the no VATs one. So we're just going to open it, we're not going to change any of that, just open it, done. And then we're going to write, okay? Now, just click write. It'll write, and when it's done writing, it'll verify. And if it verifies successfully, that means that it's written your file, read the file back, and then compared the file. So if the verification comes back, then you're all set. This will work fine in a car. If verification fails, for some reason, your bin and what was written don't add up. So by the looks of it, this is going to be a successful write. Now it's going to start verifying. All right, device is verified. There you have it. That is how you erase and write to a Memcal. If you did enjoy the video, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. Chuck a comment if there's anything you don't understand. And yeah, definitely stick around. We have a lot more videos just like this, tuning the old Delco platform to come. Catch you later.